I sometimes get the question, how has the pushback on diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, affected you personally? And it has affected me personally in a number of ways. Just last week, I had 4 public speaking events canceled, not because the prospective hosts weren't interested in what I had to say or took issue with what I had to say, but because my hosts were worried that it would impact their funding from the US government or other sources if they had a person of color giving the talk. It wasn't about the substance of what was said. It wasn't even about diversity, equity, or inclusion. They were just afraid to do business with people of color. And that's just last week. And that's just events that were canceled. There were also numerous other ones that were never to be scheduled, and many other ways that this is affecting directly a lot of the things that I do on a regular basis. It's affected me personally because the tone of conversation with colleagues, even sometimes with family members, has become more tense. That it's not safe to talk about the things that are happening personally because it might spark an argument. People have become more divided and more argumentative about these topics. But if we have to suppress even a conversation about the things that are affecting us personally, it's hardly grounds for building unity, whether it's within a family or a country. And those are just a couple of the examples. I've been trolled on my social media spaces and many other things too. And I believe in the decency of human beings. And I don't think everybody signed up because they wanted it this way. But we have to say what we want and what we need. And I'm watching other things going on that are affecting me both personally and professionally. There's an all-out assault on higher education, which I think is terribly misguided. And even heard Vice President Vance say professors are the bad guys, which is outrageous. America has had many economic advantages over the rest of the world, in no small part because 75% of the world's premier academic institutions are housed in the United States of America. We have been leading in research, innovation, and education. And as we have seen the federal government trying to erode financial support for research and attack higher education and assault the idea of an education, it is clear that this will have rippling effects for generations on the economic vitality and leadership position of the United States in the world. And as somebody who has spent a lot of my professional life in education, and because we know that having an education is directly correlated to opportunities for financial advancement, every person that I work with who's a first-generation college student who gets across the finish line and graduates is an automatic disruption to systemic intergenerational poverty, and that our government and its agents would like to take that down is so disheartening and so painful and so misguided. Their efforts to defund libraries and to attack knowledge, it's really, really infuriating. In the long run, we will either right this ship and support things like education and research, or we will all pay a price for a very long time. And that price will be a national one, and it will be a personal one for so many of us. Thanks for listening. Miigwech.